Captain Jun Kim stood tall on the bridge of the EF's Horizon. The ship was Earth's newest and best. For the first time in history, humans were about to meet aliens who were part of the Galactic Council. "Captain, the alien ship is asking for docking permission," said Officer Moon, her voice steady despite her excitement. "Grant permission," Jun said. He straightened his dark blue uniform and touched the silver Earth emblem on his chest. This meeting would change human history forever. Ambassador Han Su walked onto the bridge. He was a short man with gray hair and kind eyes. He had spent 20 years preparing for this moment. "Are you ready, Captain?" he asked. "As ready as anyone can be to meet aliens," Jun replied with a small smile. The Horizon was humanity's pride. It had taken 15 years to build. Its fusion engines could reach 15% of light speed. Its hull was made of the strongest materials humans had ever created. The inside was beautiful too, with clean white walls and advanced computers. Earth had sent its very best to meet the Galactic Council. Through the large window at the front of the bridge, they could see the alien ship. It was huge, at least 5 times bigger than the Horizon. It glowed with strange blue lights and seemed to float without any visible engines. "Their ship makes ours look like a toy," whispered Officer Moon. Jun frowned. "Remember your training. Show no fear or weakness." The ship's computer announced, "Alien delegates are boarding through Docking Bay 3. Jun and Han walked to the meeting room near the docking bay. 10 other crew members joined them, each chosen to show Earth's diversity. The doors opened. 4 aliens walked in. The first was tall and reptile-like, with green scales and yellow eyes. The second looked almost like a giant insect, with 6 arms and a hard shell. The third was blue with tentacles instead of legs. The fourth was closest to human. 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. But its skin glowed with a soft purple light. "I am Chief Delegate Vrax," said the reptile alien in perfect English. The translator devices were working. "This is Engineer Traz, Medical Officer Queel, and Cultural Observer Micah." Ambassador Han bowed deeply. "I am Ambassador Han Su of Earth. Welcome to the ESS Horizon. We are honored by your presence." Vrax's yellow eyes blinked slowly. "We have been watching your civilization for some time. Your recent achievements in space travel have qualified Earth for initial contact. We are eager to learn and share knowledge," Han said. Vrax made a sound that the translators didn't catch. It sounded like laughter. "Yes, I'm sure you are," Vrax said. "We would like to inspect your vessel before discussing potential relations with the Galactic Council." Captain Jun led the tour. He showed them the engine room first, where the fusion reactor hummed with power. "This is our most advanced propulsion system," he explained proudly. "It can." Engineer Traz interrupted, all 6 of his eyes blinking one after another. "Fusion? You power your ships with fusion?" "Yes," Jun said. "Is there a problem?" "No problem," Traz said. "It's just amusing. Most species abandon fusion within their first 1,000 years of space travel. It's inefficient and slow." Jun felt his face grow hot. "It's the best technology we have." "Of course it is," Traz said in a tone that sounded like an adult talking to a child. The tour continued. In the weapons room, Jun showed them Earth's advanced laser defense systems. "These lasers can cut through 2 meters of solid steel," he said. Vrax touched one of the laser cannons with a scaled finger. "Interesting. Direct energy weapons. Very traditional." In the medical bay, Dr. Park showed them human medical technology. "We can regrow simple organs and treat most diseases," she explained. Medical Officer Queel waved a tentacle dismissively. "You still use physical surgery. How barbaric." By the time they reached the bridge again, the mood had changed. The Earth crew felt embarrassed. The aliens had barely hidden their contempt for human technology. Ambassador Han tried to stay positive. "We understand that Earth is new to interstellar relations. We hope to learn from the Galactic Council and contribute in our own way." Vrax stood in the center of the bridge, looking down at the humans. The Council has 17 member species across 8,000 star systems. Each was evaluated on their technological, cultural, and ethical development. "And how does Earth measure up?" Han asked. "You are designated Category 4, Vrax said, barely spacefaring. Technologically immature, culturally interesting but undeveloped. Officer Moon spoke up. "That doesn't seem fair. We've accomplished so much in the last century." Vrax turned to her. "Young species always think they've accomplished much. Let me be clear. Your fastest ships would take decades to reach even the nearest Council worlds. Your weapons could not penetrate standard Council shielding. Your medical technology is prehistoric by our standards." The room fell silent. "What does Category 4 mean for Earth?" Ambassador Han finally asked. "You will be granted observer status," Vrax explained. "You may send representatives to Council meetings but cannot vote. Your ships may visit designated ports only. You will not receive technology transfers until you reach Category 3, which typically takes a species several centuries." Captain June stepped forward. "With respect, we believe Earth has much to offer even now. We are creative, adaptable. All young species say the same." Vrax interrupted. "The Council's decision is final. Be grateful. Some species are classified Category 5 and receive no recognition at all." The aliens prepared to leave. Before they did, Cultural Observer Micah, the purple glowing alien, approached Han. "Do not be discouraged," she said quietly. "Your ship is charming. Like antiques from our histories, some Council members collect such artifacts." Han's smile remained fixed, but his eyes hardened. "We are not artifacts." "Of course not," Micah said with what might have been kindness. "You are living history, a reminder of where we all began." When the alien ship departed, the bridge was quiet. Everyone felt the weight of the meeting. "Well," Captain June said finally, "that could have gone better." Ambassador Han looked out at the stars. "They see us as children. Children grow up," Officer Moon said. Han nodded. "Yes, but we can't wait centuries to be taken seriously." Captain June's computer beeped. He read the message and his eyes widened. "What is it?" Han asked. "Encrypted message from Earth Command," June said. "It says, maintain diplomatic stance. Operation Legacy authorized." Han's expression changed. Already, they weren't supposed to consider that unless first contact went poorly, June finished. "Which it did." "What's Operation Legacy?" asked Officer Moon. June and Han exchanged looks. "Something that will change how the Council sees Earth," Han said carefully. "But first, we play along. We accept their observer status. We act humble and grateful." "For how long?" asked Moon. June looked at the message again. 2 weeks. Earth Command wants 2 weeks to prepare." "Prepare for what?" Moon pressed. Han looked out at the stars again, his eyes reflecting their light. "To show the Galactic Council that they have badly underestimated humanity." As the horizon turned back toward Earth, Captain June sent a simple acknowledgement to Earth Command. Message received. "Returning home. The sleeping giants will soon awaken." The elevator moved down, down, down. Director Park G watched the numbers on the screen. -500 meters, -750 meters, 1,000 meters. Few people knew this place existed. Built under the Pacific Ocean, the massive underground base was Earth's biggest secret. "Are you nervous?" asked Commander Lita, who stood beside her. Director Park smiled slightly. "No, I've waited my whole life for this moment." The elevator stopped at -1,250 meters. The doors opened to a large control room filled with screens and busy workers. Everyone stopped when Director Park entered. She was small but powerful, with short gray hair and eyes that missed nothing. "Status report," she demanded. A young officer stepped forward. "All systems are ready, Director. The Council representatives left Earth space 6 hours ago." Captain Kim's ship is returning home. Park nodded. And Operation Legacy. Ready to begin on your command. Park turned to Commander Lee. Show me. Lee led her through a heavy door that required 3 separate security checks. They entered a walkway that overlooked an enormous dark space. Lee pressed a button, and lights slowly came on. Director Park took a deep breath. Below them stretched a massive underground hangar bigger than 10 football fields. In it sat 12 huge ships, each one black as night and shaped like nothing humans had built. They had no visible engines, no obvious weapons, and no markings. They simply existed, silent and powerful. Beautiful, aren't they? Lee said with pride. The first squadron is fully operational. How many can we activate in 2 weeks? Park asked. Lee checked his tablet. All 50 ships can be ready. Park nodded with satisfaction. The Council thinks we're children playing with toys. It's time they learned who we really are. The Legacy program began in 2089, when a mining operation on the dark side of the moon found something unexpected. At first, they thought it was just a strange rock formation. Then they realized it was artificial, a door leading to a vast underground facility. Inside, they found the ships, 50 of them, perfectly preserved, along with strange technology and incomprehensible writing. No one knew who built them or why they abandoned them on Earth's moon. Scientists called them the precursors. For over a century, Earth kept this discovery secret. The best minds worked to understand the alien technology, slowly learning how to operate the ancient ships. They called them the Legacy Fleet. Director Park walked along a catwalk that ran beside one of the huge black ships. Workers in special suits moved around it, checking systems and running tests. What name did we give this one? She asked. This is the EFS Thunderbolt, Commander Lee answered, the flagship of the first squadron. Park placed her hand on the smooth black hull. It felt warm, almost alive. Does it still respond only to the chosen pilots? Yes, Lee confirmed. The ships form some kind of mental link with their pilots. We still don't understand how it works. But it's stronger than ever. The ships seem to be waking up. Waking up? What do you mean? Lee looked uncomfortable. It's hard to explain. The pilots report that the ships feel more alive now. Some systems we couldn't activate before are coming online by themselves. Park frowned. Is it dangerous? No, but it's strange. It's like the ships know something is happening. Like they've been waiting. A technician approached them. Director Park, we're ready for the demonstration. They moved to a viewing room with large windows overlooking a test chamber. Inside the chamber sat a small piece of the same black material that made up the ship's hulls. We've been testing all the materials we found, the technician explained. Watch this. He pressed a button. A powerful laser fired at the black material. The beam simply vanished when it hit the surface. No reflection, no heat signature, no damage. The technician said, "We've tried everything. Lasers, plasma, even nuclear reactions in controlled settings. Nothing affects it." "And the weapons systems?" Park asked. Commander Lee smiled. "Even more impressive. Come with me." They went to another room filled with screens showing test results. Lee pointed to one display. The ships have energy weapons unlike anything we've seen. They don't destroy targets. They disable them. We can shut down any electrical system without damaging the structure around it. And conventional weapons, in case we need them. The ships have those too. Projectiles that move almost at light speed. Force shields that can stop anything. And the speed, the ships can accelerate to 50% of light speed almost instantly. Director Park nodded. The Council ships we observed moved at 20% light speed at most. We'll have the advantage. We'll have more than an advantage, Lee said firmly. Nothing in Council space can match these ships. Park's phone beeped. She looked at the message and her expression became serious. The Council has sent their official declaration. Earth is classified as Category 4. Our ships are restricted to our own solar system, and we can send only 3 representatives to council meetings. They think they're being generous, Lee said with anger in his voice. Let them think whatever they want, Park replied calmly. It makes our job easier. She turned to address the room full of officers and scientists. Everyone, listen carefully. For over a century, we've kept the Legacy Fleet secret. We've learned, prepared, and waited. Now the waiting is over. She walked to a large screen showing a map of nearby stars. The Council believes humans are weak, primitive, and harmless. In 2 weeks, we will change their minds. On the other side of the solar system, the Galactic Council ship returned through a wormhole to Council space. Chief Delegate Vrax sat in his private chamber, recording his observations. Earth represents no threat to Council interests, he dictated. Their technology is primitive, their weapons ineffective against our defenses. I recommend minimal contact for at least 50 years until they advance beyond their current state. Engineer Traz entered the room. Chief Delegate, I've completed my analysis of human technology. Anything interesting? Vrax asked without much interest. One thing, Traz replied. Their scanning technology is surprisingly advanced, almost as good as ours. Really? That's unexpected. Yes. And one more odd detail. Their ships contain materials that seem more advanced than they should be able to produce. When I asked about them, they said they were experimental composites. Vrax waved a scaled hand dismissively. New species often focus on one area of technology while neglecting others. Perhaps they are good at material science. Perhaps, Traz agreed, but I found energy readings from Earth that don't match their known technology. Very faint, but unusual. Could they be hiding something? Traz's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. It's possible, but what could they hide that would matter? Their most advanced ship was pitiful. Vrax thought for a moment. Send a stealth probe to observe Earth, just to be safe. Is that necessary? They're just primitives. Probably not necessary, but it's protocol for all new contact species. We should follow the rules, even for Category 4 civilizations. Back on Earth, Captain Jun Kim's ship docked at the orbital station. He and Ambassador Han were immediately taken to a secure shuttle and flown to the underwater base. Director Park met them personally when they arrived. Welcome to Legacy Base. I assume your first contact went exactly as we expected. Han nodded. The Council sees us as children, harmless and primitive. Good, Park said. The Legacy Fleet is almost ready. In 2 weeks, the Council will learn that appearances can be deceiving. She led them to the main hangar. When Captain Jun saw the black ships, his eyes widened. I've seen the videos, but they're more impressive in person, he said. Captain Kim, meet your new command, Park said. The EFS Thunderbolt. Jun approached the massive black ship with awe. I've trained in the simulators, but I never thought I'd actually pilot one. You're one of the few humans compatible with the neural interface, Park explained. The ship has chosen you as much as we have. When do we reveal ourselves to the Council? Ambassador Han asked. Director Park's expression became serious. Sooner than planned. Our deep space monitors have detected unusual activity at the edge of our solar system. We believe the Council sent a stealth probe to observe us. They're suspicious already, Han asked with concern. Cautious, not suspicious, Park corrected. Standard protocol for them. But it means we need to accelerate our timetable. She looked up at the enormous black ships. Prepare your crews, Captain Kim. In 1 week, not 2, Operation Legacy begins. And what exactly is Operation Legacy's goal? Jun asked. Director Park smiled slightly. To show the Galactic Council that humanity is not to be underestimated. Ever. 3 months had passed since Earth's introduction to the Galactic Council. Ambassador Han Su sat quietly in the back of the Grand Council chamber. As an observer from a Category 4 civilization, he was only allowed to watch, not speak. The chamber was huge, with seats for representatives from all 17 member species. Today, every seat was filled. The mood was tense. High Commander Zeltri, a tall blue alien with 4 arms, stood at the center platform. The Drax attacks continue. 3 more outer colonies have fallen. Their ships are faster and stronger than ever before. Worried voices filled the room. The Drax Collective was a machine intelligence from the edge of the galaxy. For centuries, they had attacked Council worlds, but never with such force. "Show us the latest battle," ordered Chief Delegate Vrax. A large screen appeared in the air. It showed Council ships fighting against silver cube-shaped vessels. The Council ships fired energy weapons, but most missed their targets. The Drax ships moved too quickly. "Their speed has increased by 30%, explained Commander Zeltri. "And they have new shielding technology. Our weapons barely damage them now." Delegate Neelix, a small furry alien, stood up. "We must evacuate the Procyon sector. It will be next." The room erupted in shouting. Ambassador Han listened carefully. The Procyon sector was only 12 light-years from Earth. If it fell, Earth could be next. Han sent a secret message to Earth. "Council in crisis. Drax attacking at unprecedented scale. Procyon sector threatened. Earth could be in danger soon." The reply came quickly. "Continue observation. Legacy fleet on standby." Chief Delegate Vrax called for order. "We must make a decision. Our military experts recommend abandoning the Proxima system to focus our defenses on the inner colonies." "Abandon Proxima," gasped another delegate. "There are 6 billion people on those planets." "We have no choice," Vrax said grimly. "We cannot defend everywhere at once. The Drax are too powerful." Han frowned. Proxima was the closest star system to Earth, just over 4 light-years away. If the Council abandoned it, he pressed the button that would allow him to speak. A small light blinked on his desk. Vrax noticed it and seemed annoyed. "The human observer is recognized, though I remind the Council that Earth has no vote in military matters." Han stood and bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Chief Delegate. The Proxima system lies near Earth's space. If it falls, our world could be next. Earth offers its assistance in the defense effort." A moment of silence followed. Then laughter spread through the chamber. Vrax's yellow eyes narrowed. "With what, Ambassador Han? Your primitive fusion ships, your basic laser weapons. One Drax vessel could destroy your entire fleet." Han remained calm. "Perhaps Earth has resources you have not yet seen. Unless you've made remarkable advances in the past 3 months, I doubt you have anything that could help." Vrax said dismissively. "The Council appreciates your enthusiasm, but this is a matter for full members." The Council voted. The decision was made. Proxima would be abandoned. Evacuation ships would save as many people as possible, but billions would be left behind. As the meeting ended, cultural observer Micah approached Han. Her purple skin glowed softly. "I admire your courage, Ambassador," she said, "but you must understand. The Drax are unlike anything your people have encountered. They don't negotiate. They don't take prisoners. They consume worlds and move on." "We understand danger," Han replied. "Humans have faced extinction before." "Not like this," Micah said sadly. "I hope your world never has to face the Drax. The inner colonies will be protected. Your Earth should be safe, at least for now." Han nodded politely but said nothing more. As soon as Micah left, he sent another message to Earth. "Council abandoning Proxima. Request permission to offer Legacy Fleet assistance." Director Park's reply was immediate. "Permission granted. Inform Council that Earth forces will arrive at Proxima in 3 days." Fleet Admiral Kelthor watched as the evacuation ships left Proxima. His remaining battle cruisers formed a defensive line, buying time for the civilians to escape. It was a hopeless stand. His ships would be destroyed, but every minute gained meant more lives saved. "Admiral," his tactical officer called. The human observer is requesting to speak with you. Kelthor frowned. What could the human possibly want now? Put him through. Ambassador Han's face appeared on screen. Admiral Kelthor, I bring a message from Earth Command. This is not a good time, Ambassador, Kelthor said impatiently. I understand, Admiral. But Earth is sending ships to assist in the defense of Proxima. Kelthor blinked in surprise. Earth ships. Ambassador, I appreciate the gesture, but this battle is beyond your capabilities. A single Drax vessel would. Our fleet will arrive in 3 days, Han interrupted. We request that you hold your position until then. 3 days. Kelthor was stunned. Earth is over 4 light years from Proxima. Your fastest ships would take months tow. 3 days, Admiral, Han repeated. Please inform the Council. The communication ended. Kelthor stared at the blank screen. Should we inform the Council? His tactical officer asked. Yes, Kelthor said slowly, though I don't know what to tell them. Either the humans are confused about distances, or he didn't finish the sentence. 2 days later, the Drax fleet arrived at Proxima. 50 cube-shaped ships against Admiral Kelthor's remaining 20 cruisers. The battle began immediately. We can't hold for long, Kelthor's second-in-command said as their ship shook from a Drax attack. Our shields are failing. We must hold for 1 more day, Kelthor replied. He didn't explain why. The idea of waiting for human help seemed foolish now. For 18 hours, the Council ships fought and died. Kelthor's fleet was reduced to 7 ships, all damaged. The Drax continued to advance, methodical and unstoppable. Admiral, the tactical officer called out suddenly. Unknown energy signatures at the edge of the system. The evacuation ships returning? Kelthor asked. No, sir. These signatures are. I've never seen anything like them. A new voice came through the communication system. Admiral Kelthor, this is Captain Jun Kim of Earth Command. Our fleet has arrived. Kelthor watched in disbelief as ships appeared on his screen. Not the clumsy, primitive vessels he expected, but sleek black ships that seemed to absorb the light around them. They had no visible engines, no obvious weapons. They simply appeared, as if they had always been there. 50 ships detected, reported the tactical officer. Configuration unknown. On the screen, Captain Jun Kim appeared. He wore a simple black uniform with Earth's emblem. Admiral, please move your remaining ships to these coordinates. We will engage the Drax. Kelthor found his voice. Captain Kim, the Drax have already destroyed most of my fleet. I recommend you retreat immediately. Jun smiled slightly. That won't be necessary, Admiral. Please secure your position and watch. The Black Earth ships moved with impossible speed toward the Drax fleet. The Drax, sensing new enemies, turned to face them. What happened next would be remembered throughout Council space for centuries. The Earth ships didn't fire conventional weapons. Instead, waves of energy spread from them, washing over the Drax vessels. The cube-shaped ships simply stopped. Their lights went out. Their weapons fell silent. What's happening? Kelthor demanded. The Drax ships appear to be deactivated, his tactical officer said in amazement. All systems offline. 3 more waves of Earth ships arrived. Within an hour, the entire Drax fleet had been neutralized without a single ship being destroyed. Captain Kim's face reappeared on screen. Admiral Kelthor, the Proxima system is secure. The Drax vessels have been disabled. Your engineers can study them at your leisure. Kelthor stared at the human. How? How is this possible? I think it's time for a council meeting, Kim replied. Earth has much to share. 2 hours later, an emergency council session began. Every member was present, either in person or by hologram. The mood was very different from before. No one was laughing now. Ambassador Han stood at the center of the chamber. Behind him was Captain Kim and a hologram of Director Park. Chief Delegate Vrax spoke first. Ambassador Han, the Council demands an explanation. Those ships are not of human design. Han smiled. No, they are not. We call them the Legacy Fleet. We found them buried on our moon 136 years ago. Precursor technology, whispered one delegate in awe. Han nodded. We believe they are approximately 50,000 years old, left by a civilization we call the Precursors. We've spent decades learning to use them, while developing our own technology alongside them. Why did you hide this from the Council? Demanded Vrax. Captain Kim stepped forward. Would you have treated us differently if you had known? Or would you have demanded we hand the ships over to the Council? Vrax had no answer. Director Park spoke through the hologram. Earth wishes to be a full member of the Galactic Council, but as equals, not as children. The Legacy Fleet will defend Council space against the Drax and any other threats, but it remains under Earth command. The Council members looked at each other. They had no choice. The Council recognizes Earth as a Category 1 civilization. Vrax announced formally. Full membership with all rights and privileges is granted immediately. Han bowed. Earth accepts with gratitude. As the meeting continued, Han whispered to Captain Kim, "That went well." Kim nodded. But this is just the beginning. The real question remains. What question? Han asked. Who were the Precursors, and why did they leave their fleet on our moon? 1 month after the battle at Proxima, Earth had changed. Ships from the Galactic Council arrived daily, bringing diplomats, scientists, and traders eager to meet the newest Category 1 civilization. Captain Jung Kim stood on a platform overlooking the newly built spaceport in Seoul. Beside him was Ambassador Han Su, watching as alien visitors mingled with excited humans. It's hard to believe how quickly things have changed, Jun said. Han nodded. 1 month ago, they thought we were primitives. Now they can't get enough of us. A large screen above the spaceport showed news from around the galaxy. The Drax had retreated to their territory after Earth's fleet disabled their ships at 3 more battle sites. Peace talks were starting. Captain Kim, called a familiar voice. They turned to see cultural observer Micah walking toward them, her purple skin glowing in the sunlight. Observer Micah, Jun greeted her with a small bow. Welcome to Earth. Thank you for having me, she said. And please, just Micah now. I've been reassigned as Cultural Exchange Officer. I'll be staying on Earth for some time. I'm glad, Han said sincerely. You were one of the few who showed us respect from the beginning. Micah looked embarrassed. Not enough respect, clearly. We all underestimated Earth. That was the plan, Jun reminded her with a smile. Yes, well, the Council has many questions now, Micah said. Especially about the Legacy Fleet. Chief Delegate Vrax is coming next week for a special meeting. Jun's smile faded. We expected that. Will Earth share what it knows about the Precursors? Micah asked. Han and Jun exchanged looks. That's for Director Park to decide, Han said carefully. Deep under the Pacific Ocean, Director Park G walked through Legacy Base with Admiral Kelfor of the Council Fleet. The tall alien had to duck under doorways designed for humans. Impressive facility, Kelfor said, hidden from our scans completely. We've had over a century to perfect our security, Park replied. They entered the main hangar. 20 of the Black Legacy ships were docked there, being serviced by technicians in special suits. Magnificent, Kelfor whispered. I still can't believe what I saw at Proxima. Your ships moved like nothing I've ever seen. The way they disabled the Drax without destroying them. The Legacy Fleet doesn't need to destroy to win, Park said. That's one of many lessons we've learned from the Precursors. They stopped at a viewing platform overlooking the largest ship. This is what Chief Delegate Vrax really wants to see, isn't it? Park asked. Kelfor nodded. The Council is concerned about the balance of power. One world with such technology. One world that saved 3 of your colonies, Park interrupted. Yes, and we are grateful. But you must understand, Director, the Council has maintained peace for 2,000 years by ensuring no single species has too much power. Park smiled thinly. And now along come the humans with their strange black ships. Exactly. The Council will want access to this technology. They will offer exchanges, trade deals. They will want the ships, Park said flatly. Kelthor didn't deny it. What would you do in our position, Admiral? Park asked. Would you give up your only advantage? Kelthor's 4 eyes blinked slowly. No. But I would be careful. The Council can be a friend or an enemy. Like humans have been saying for centuries, Admiral, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. A week later, Chief Delegate Vrax arrived on Earth. The meeting took place in a special room built inside Legacy Base. Director Park, Captain Kim, and Ambassador Han represented Earth. Vrax brought Admiral Kelthor and Engineer Traz. Director Park started the meeting. Welcome to Earth, Chief Delegate. We hope your journey was pleasant. It was educational, Vrax replied. Your solar system is more developed than we initially thought. Mining operations on your outer planets, research stations on several moons. We've been busy, Park said with a smile. Vrax got straight to the point. The Council has voted to propose a technology exchange. Your legacy fleet in return for full access to Council technology, medical advances, faster than light travel, energy production. Technology we would eventually develop ourselves, Han noted. But why wait centuries? Vrax asked. With Council help, Earth could advance quickly. And in return, we give up our greatest advantage, Park said. The ships are not yours, Vrax said, his voice hardening. They are precursor technology. No single world should control such power. Park leaned forward. The precursors left the ships on our moon. Not on a Council world. Not in neutral space, on Earth's moon. A coincidence, Vrax insisted. We don't think so, Captain Kim said. He pressed a button, and a hologram appeared above the table. It showed strange symbols. This writing was found inside every legacy ship, Kim explained. For a century, we couldn't translate it. Then 5 years ago, we found something. The hologram changed to show a cave wall with ancient human drawings next to similar symbols. These cave paintings are from 40,000 years ago, in what is now Australia, Kim continued. The symbols match the precursor language, and they tell a story. Engineer Traz leaned closer, all 6 of his eyes widening. Impossible. Humans had contact with the precursors. More than contact, Park said. The precursors visited Earth many times over thousands of years. They watched us evolve, grow, develop, and they left their ships on your moon. Admiral Kelthor said slowly. For us to find when we were ready, Han finished. It wasn't an accident. It was a gift. The room fell silent as the Council representatives absorbed this information. Finally, Vrax spoke. Do you know who the precursors were? Where they went? We know some things, Park admitted, but not everything. Will you share this knowledge with the Council? Park looked at her colleagues, then back to Vrax. Yes, but not in exchange for technology. Knowledge should be shared freely. And the ships? Vrax pressed. The ships stay under Earth Command, Park said firmly. But they will defend all peaceful worlds, Council members or not. We've already proven that. Vrax's yellow eyes narrowed. The Council may not accept these terms. Then the Council will have to reconsider, Park replied calmly. But first, I think you should see what else we found. Park led the group deeper into the base, to a secure area few humans had entered. They stopped at a heavy door with multiple security systems. What you're about to see has been kept secret from most of Earth's population, Park explained. Only 100 people have seen it. The door opened slowly. Inside was a single large room with white walls. In the center stood a clear container. Inside the container was something that looked like a crystal, glowing with soft blue light. What is that? Admiral Kelthor asked. We call it the core, Park said. It was found with the ships. We believe it's some kind of data storage device. Engineer Traz moved closer, studying the crystal. Does it communicate? In a way, Captain Kim answered. It seems to respond to certain humans. It shares visions, images from the past and possibly the future. What does it show? Vrax asked, unable to hide his interest. The precursors, Park said simply. And a warning. A warning about what? Park looked directly at Vrax. Something is coming. Something worse than the Drax. The precursors knew it. That's why they left us the ships and the core. They were preparing us. Preparing you for what? Vrax demanded. We don't know yet, but when we do, we'll need the Council as much as the Council needs us. Vrax stared at the glowing crystal, then at the humans. His attitude had changed. I will report this to the full Council, he said. Your terms may be acceptable, given these developments. After the Council representatives left the room, Ambassador Han turned to Director Park. Do you think they believed us? Park smiled slightly. About the core? Yes. About the warning? Enough to worry them. And is there really something coming? Captain Kim asked. Something worse than the Drax. The core has shown me many things, Park said. Some I understand, some I don't. But one thing is clear. The precursors didn't leave their ships on our moon just to help us join the Galactic Council. They left them so we could save the Council, Han realized. Park nodded and looked at the glowing crystal. The precursors saw something in humans that they didn't see in other species, a combination of creativity, determination, and adaptability. They believed we could do what they could not. And what was that? Asked Kim. Face what's coming, Park said solemnly. The Drax were just the beginning. The real test lies ahead. Captain Kim straightened his shoulders. Then we'll be ready. As they left the room, the core's blue glow pulsed slightly, as if in agreement. In orbit above Earth, the Legacy fleet patrolled silently. The ancient black ships, built by a long-vanished civilization, now carried human crews, and somewhere in the depths of space, whatever had frightened even the mighty precursors was moving closer. The Council had called human ships pathetic. Now they called humans allies. Soon, they might call them saviors.